Welcome to the Knowledge Entrepreneurs Show, where we celebrate the innovators driving change in the education industry. At Edison OS, we've worked with over 500 knowledge entrepreneurs to turn their edtech ideas into profitable businesses. Hi, Shalabh. Good morning. Welcome to the Knowledge Entrepreneurs Show. Thank you so much for taking time out to be a part of the show.
Thank you very much, Jagmohan, and very good morning to you.
Great. Shalabh, let's get started. My first question is a very light, open-ended, little personal question for us to, have a connection with the listeners. Shalabh, you are in one of the most envious role. A lot of people want to be content creator, and you are in a very especially the content creation that you do is even more niche, which is creating content in the test prep world, right? The SATs, the GMAT, and stuff like that. Shalabh, can you walk us through your journey up until now? Up until now in the sense, up until the point that you became a content creator.
Sure. So, may I start with my schooling, right from
Please.
right? Sure. So, I was an intelligent student, and in those days, like an intelligent student means somebody who's very good at maths, physics, and science. I was equally good at other languages are concerned. So, whether I'm basically a Hindi medium student till 12th, this, right? Yeah. So, but I was studying in the best of the best school of my town. Had it been like in a choice given to me, okay, you have got a choice to study in English medium, even then people would die to study in that particular school because it was such a reputed model high school. So I studied from there and intelligent. And of course, intelligent means you have to become an engineer. Okay, because your maths is good, science is good, and you can really crack this thing. So this naturally happened to me, but obviously in the first attempt only I cracked my pre-engineering test. And once I did my B, I became a very poor student and I didn't study. I was what I'm really doing was doing. I really don't know why I didn't really study there. So as soon as completed my B, I got my first job as a mechanical. I was a mechanical engineering graduate. So in a shop, a rolling mill, a typical engineering, a lot of workers are there, grease, paint, oil, and all these things. And a halla gulla, a lot of chaos will be there. You have to rush. Right? Okay. So this is typical shop floor kind of a job is there. So my shift was like afternoon shift 2 to 11 p.m. Afternoon 2 to 11 p.m. So I was into maintenance and other times like 11 night to till 2 o'clock, production used to happen. So I was not into production, I was into maintenance. So my role was definitely limited to maintenance only. Once my boss really thought of, Shalabh, let's see what happens in night. One of our fitters and a worker used to be there. If there is any escalation is there, then somebody has to really attend there. Otherwise, like in a main job has to be done by the team or the maintenance team in 2 to 11. So he posted, it was kind of a punishment, kind of a posting. Oh my God, night, you can't sleep and you don't have any work at all. Now, how to get yourself charged up and wake up? Because security guard used to really come and see somebody is sleeping. Okay, then he'll really put down the name, and then next morning there'll be some name calling who was caught sleeping. This, then how many tea you can really take. So it was really hard to keep yourself alive, and there's no work at all because I'm in maintenance engineer. Production is going on, machines are really running at full smooth pace. If there is occasionally any siren is blown, then I rush. Oh, it is production related. Then again come back in within 5 minutes to my cabin. Then thought of like in how to really get myself awake. So I thought, okay, let's learn English in a professional way because throughout I was a Hindi medium student. So
Right.
there's some kind of passion was there. I have to read Times of India. I started like reading Times of India newspaper, but yeah, many things like used to go over the head. So I
Right.
used to buy Times of India, and during the night I used to study, and this big thick dictionary was there with me because
Right.
11 to 6 o'clock I have to keep alive. I need not sleep at all. Okay, and n number of tea you can drink, but yeah, there is some kind of a limit to it. So I started reading Times of India. Oh, what is the meaning of recalcitrant? Oh, this is the meaning of Oh, what is the meaning of this word? This, and switch and back and forth. So by and by, what was happening, like, apart from the objective was to really, hone my English language, but the knowledge, economy, political scenario, what the world is around. Okay, this awakening was really happening in me. And over
Right.
the period of time, like, I realized, oh, I think, like, I'm not really cut out for this maintenance engineering job. I should do MBA. I think I'm better suited for this particular sector. So quit. Then joined MBA entrance classes. MBA entrance classes. I was very excellent in math. So even my fellow
Right.
batchmates, like, starting, can you really, solve this question, that question? Can you explain this, that? So from there, like, people really started giving me some kind of a compliment. Oh, you are a good teacher. You can teach good, this, that. Okay. So I did my MBA simultaneously. I was doing my job. I changed my profile from maintenance engineer to marketing engineer. Joined another company as the
Right.
marketing engineer because it will really, align to my MBA. So
Right.
from there, like, this one thing was really playing in my mind, that I think, I can become a good teacher. Okay, so
Right.
I joined
Right.
my brother, who was already running the classes, and we used to run a school in my hometown. So I joined him, and full-fledged, I came into teaching.
Hmm.
So I started, like, exploring okay, how to really teach various subjects are there, especially my forte was in math also. But apart from math, I try to develop and understand other subjects also. From there,
Right.
I got the neck of what is this teaching is all about. And cut to, as far as my first exposure to CAT, MBA, CET, MBA entrances, or Indian CAT. So in Aurangabad, I was given the responsibility of running a career forum, one of the MBA entrance classes.
Right.
So
Right.
Aurangabad, I was the branch head. At the same time, I used to teach, conduct seminars in various colleges, recruit students, business development, and a counseling activity and all whatnot. So again, like,
Right.
now, students started praising me, sir. You teach quantitative, because I'm a person of quants. I mean, those days now have I will, like, I'm check of all kind of a traits, be it verbal or whatever it is there. Let it be. So in those days, like, was solely into quants. Okay.
Right.
So at that time, I had never really thought of, okay, I'll really come someday, can think of GMAT, GRE or something like this. But I got the opportunity with the Kaplan franchisee. In those
Right.
days, 2008, the Kaplan was with the Chopras. The
Okay.
Chopras name now is changed to TC Global. The
Right.
name is changed to the in those days it was the Chopras. So I joined as the area manager in the Chopras Kaplan franchise in Pune. And first
Mm-hmm.
time there was this interaction in 2008. I'm talking about 2008. First time interaction with the what is the LMS. First time I in that particular word, I really, oh, this is LMS. So it is to be done on computers and this and that, all these things. Okay, so that was first interaction was there. Oh, this study material. Okay,
Right. Right.
package material, all these things. So I started teaching GMAT, GRE, SET, LSAT, and analytical reasoning aspects are there. So again, people, like, appreciated me with this thing. But apart from teaching, I used to manage the branch. So verbal, I didn't teach at all, but conducting seminars, business development
Hmm.
activities, counseling, or branch-related stuff, you can understand. But in 2012, that somehow, like, that was the point where my first foray into content development really came into being. I had applied for in those days in June 2012.
Right.
GMAT first introduced integrated reasoning into GMAT changed in June 2012.
Right.
Integrated reasoning was introduced in the GMAT. So I
Okay.
was hired by eGMAT, US company run by Indians only, but it's a purely US company. They hired me to
Right.
create content for integrated reasoning.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean that was a rigorous interviewing process. Like I was asked to really post on this. You must have heard about GMAT Club and Beat
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
GMAT. These are the two forums. So one of the forums I have to really post certain posts and earn 25 thanks. Okay,
Okay.
I have to.
Got
Oh
it.
yeah. So the objective was to earn 25 thanks. So that was one of the criteria, and at the same time, like I was to prepare one of the modules on speed, time, and distance. Okay, so these two
Right.
dots. So
Right.
by the time, I was called for the interview in Delhi in person, I had already some earned 35 something
Wow.
thanks. Oh, yeah. So
Thanks.
and they really like my module. I really prepared in PowerPoint, and it was very basic. Now, if I really see that time, I was very proud of what I have really done because I was accepted because of that. So yeah, so I was inducted in their team. So content, and content. That was this nothing except content. So I used to write lots of questions. What is this? Graphical interpretation questions are there, table analysis questions are there, two-part questions, multi-source reasoning questions are there. And at the same time, I had to really convert them with the tool, e-authoring tool. If you have heard about this particular tool, Articulate Storyline. Then the
Yes.
name is
Yes.
changed to Articulate 360. Now the name is changed to Articulate 360. That was also the first time I got interaction with the I first time handled an e-authoring tool to say a
Right.
lot of story writing, even I used to write a movie like script. A particular question is there because a teacher is explaining, no, this, that, these I have to really write like, a movie script writer used to write. I remember those I prepared a very nice question of tortoise and hare. There is a race of
Right.
tortoise and hare is there, right? Of course, the speed of tortoise is significantly less than the rabbit, okay, or hare. And the rabbit is moving, but every 1 hour he used to take a nap of half an hour. And but tortoise is cruising along. And again, who is the winner and by what time the tortoise beat the hare? That was the question. So I
Right.
just animated. I made a tortoise. I made in a hair. Gold medal is there. Clapping is there. Okay, celebration is there on the screen. So these things they are related. So I was very fascinated about this thing. So a lot of creativity came into doing this thing because it is something like my dream of creating some kind of a movie is really getting materialized. So I mean. Uh, so I created integrated reasoning content with eGMAT. That was the great exposure because international company had hired me and a professional company who asked me to create the content. And more importantly, it was published on the
Right.
website.
Right.
So yeah, so from there, once integrated reasoning content was really created, the scope of works really limited. And in those days, EGMAT had only verbal content, no
Okay.
quantitative content. And I'm not the one person who is into verbal reasoning in those days. So I
Right.
had to really make a move because now there's no such role of left for me. So
Okay. Right.
I started I started searching for okay, I'll make the content or on my own. So from there I started as a solo. I started
This
as
was
solo.
which year, Shalabh?
It was 2013, late 2013.
So until then, you were working with EasyMat as a
Until
quant
yes,
content
yes.
creator, integrated
No,
reasoning.
integrated reasoning content creator because those days quants was not there with GMAT. So since 2013 till now,
But
I'm working
integrated
with the
reasoning falls under what? It falls under quant or it falls under verbal?
I wouldn't say because if I say graphical interpretation and table analysis, you can really call it okay, majorly falls into quants. But multi-source reasoning, this is a mixture of so
Got
many
it.
things. You can find a graph, you can textual information, complicated textual information, verbal reasoning part is there, and all this thing.
Right.
So
Right.
that is even two part analysis kind of a certain question totally quant based, certain question totally verbal based. So the name itself is integrated reasoning. So you bring it from
Got it.
any, yeah. So since 2013, I started like creating content for GMAT and GRE for only quants.
Okay.
So problem solving, data sufficiency is there in GRE. Of course, multiple choice questions are there. So a lot of questions. Like and I started creating, but over the period of time, like and I started honing, learning verbal reasoning also. And as far as my verbal reasoning is concerned, so it was by then, like in a couple of years, and I started feeling confident. Okay, I can really do it because I'm
Right.
started solving the questions and I've got the super confidence and the way I used to review the question, give critical comments to clients' work. So clients started appreciating. So why not you also do this, that? Okay. So I said, yes, okay, I'll do it. So initially I started doing some bit, but at the same time, like I started aligning with some independent content creator who are expert in verbal. I started
Okay.
seeking their help. This is my work.
Right.
Could you please review? Okay. And then,
Right.
yeah, so gradually I started learning at same time, like, when came, when started taking these projects. So now I have maybe 8 to 10 content writers, independent content writers. There's no commitment with me. They sit we work virtually. So if
Right.
I work, then they review. If they work, I review. So at a time, like maybe minimum 2 to 3, we 2 to 3 work together, and I take these projects, whether it is GMAT or GRE or SAT or IELTS is there, LSAT is there, ACT is there, cons or verbal, and recently started like for pre-employment assessment test or candidate assessment test. So recently
Right.
did a very good project for that. Yeah,
Got it, Shalabh. Shalabh, so it's been now 10 years since you've been operating on your own. And you said 2013, late 2013 is when you started on your own because EGMAT, wherever you were working, you didn't have an opportunity in your niche, right? So how was the transition from, working for somebody with a certain amount of money coming in at the end of every month? How difficult or easy was it for you to transition from being an employee to being self-employed? And what did it take for you? What are the challenges you faced? How did you adapt? How did you get your first client?
sure. When I was preparing for integrated reasoning content and with the EGMAT, so I had anticipated that within a couple of months or so, my role will be over. And there is no such immediate plan for quantitative reasoning content as such. So I was anticipating. So by like now, I was really preparing. I mean, under the confidence of my employer also, I was really preparing for myself. Okay, I can make these kind of questions or not. Okay. So simultaneously, I was contacting some clients, tester company owners, sending cold emails, and by the time like I left EGMAT, and within say 15 days or so, some kind of a work started really coming to me. Okay, could you please review
Wow.
this?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So that transition, of course, like in a first say 6 months or so, whatever I was really earning, not all comparable, but 6 months hence down the line, I started getting sufficient kind of money, and after a year, I became very self-independent. Even if like if X company gives me opportunity to work for me, I'll say no.
Wow. That's great. So you're saying, so you only worked for 2 months in EGMAT?
No, no, no. I worked for over a year or so. In 2012, June, I mean, maybe April or March 2012, probably I joined
But
because
when you joined, you were expecting that you would have work only for 2 months. Is that correct?
no, no, not 2 months. I mean, when I was about to finish integrated reasoning course, before that, I could
Okay,
anticipate.
okay, okay, okay. You could anticipate. Okay, there's gonna be no more work after a couple of months, and then with the knowledge of the company itself, you started reaching out to people.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you said you reached out to companies. So you reached out to all the other training companies, is it?
yeah, yeah, exactly, 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 exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. And what was your exact pitch to them,
Okay. So pitch
Shalabh?
to them like yes. I should definitely highlight my experiences with Kaplan because the Kaplan is the international brand. You name it, and people will know you worked with Kaplan.
Right,
Okay, with a franchisee. Okay, so they understand like na, ki, this person has already seen standardized study material, and this person knows what GMAT, GRE is all about, and certain sample questions I had uploaded on Dropbox. So sample questions were prepared from them. And secondly, eGMAT experience was playing a key role with them. My sample questions were already uploaded. So few sample questions you can, without paying anything, you can see. So that is my creation. Okay. So even if like one of the employer thinks, ki, okay, I should check with each event, and they had got a very good relation, then they'll say, yeah, Shalabh has delivered. He did create integrated reasoning question, even if somebody wishes to do. So I used to openly say, ki, yes, this is done by me. This is my baby. I mean, of course, it was a teamwork. So maybe
of
40
course, you
to
were involved
40.
in that.
Yeah, 40 to 50% questions were created by me, and same e-learning content, and maybe 30 to 40% e-learning content created by me. So there were three, four people were there who all together did this. So this is what used to be my pitch.
Got got it. And so you mentioned, we've been talking about you creating content, and especially for the test prep thing. So can you share the exact, not the exact, what are the different kinds of processing? I'm sure content writing is not just about you sit down and then you create questions, right? You must have your whole flow to it. Like, say, it could first start off from conceptual designing, as you say in your LinkedIn self description, right? Writing, managing content, collaborating with authors. So how much, what is the flow like in this particular domain of creating content for uh,
Sure.
tests like these, Shalabh?
Sure. So say like if I earned a contract of 500 questions for GMAT, and
Okay,
first of all, I asked client one thing: have you seen my samples?
got
First
it.
thing, have you seen? Do you want more samples? Do you want more samples
Wow.
from my side? But those
Okay,
things, those questions are my copyright. Okay.
okay.
But are you satisfied, happy? Can you review yourself? And can you identify if there is any kind of a flaw is there, or you are not happy with the explanation? Because one of my forte is comprehensive explanation. Okay. So this is the what my forte is. And once the client is satisfied, yeah, I've seen it. I'm satisfied and happy and this that. Okay. So I ask, what do you really want? So if they say 500 questions divided into quants and verbal, in quants, how many problem solving, how many data sufficiency, in of course verbal, CR, RC, and SC. And then I ask, you want bifurcation into trifurcation into easy, medium, hard level? Do you really want topic wise distribution is there? Once that Excel sheet is really ready, okay, then I started like saying, okay, these are the two questions I'm sending as per your specification. You review, will sit, will discuss on Zoom call. What is the lacuna? Do you want a diagram in this question? I don't think there is a need of any diagram because this is self-explanatory. If client says no, if, this much is needed, we can argue, we can debate, and I mean it is not necessarily I'll obey them. Okay, it is not there. But if the client says, no, 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 I really want this, please do it, I'll do it, no problem. So once
Right.
this kind of understanding, then questions I really sent for each category. After discussion, I understood what is the requirement and everything. Then again, I sent two questions and hardly any kind of after review. Then I thought, okay, I think in our wavelength is matching. Okay. Then after once like in a couple of interaction is there, iteration is there, then 10 question at a time, I used to really send in a batch. But
Right.
the process is there. I make original, plagiarism free, test representative question. Now, a lot of test makers, and especially those who are trainers,
Hmm.
as you said, like I am falling into the niche. I have created a niche out of me.
Yeah.
I also graduated from being a teacher to the content creator, and I am the one like who can also teach. I have already taught. But
Right.
there can be hundreds of teachers who are as good as me or a few better than me. But
Right.
there will be hardly tens of content creators who are as good as me. Or so why not like create a niche out of this? So good thing about me is I have never created content for MBA entrances, CAT or CET, and I have never created. So this is the positive point. There is no influence of CAT because somebody
Right.
how one as far as India is concerned, how one graduates from CAT CAT to GMAT and GRE. He has been a good trainer teaching CAT. Then he moves to GMAT side. Influence of CAT is there. This is,
Mm.
but that particular question is out of scope. One can be a good, excellent content creator. One can create a fantastic question, no doubt about it. But is it
Right.
representative? Is it representative? Suppose, say, clocks. A question on clocks. What is the angle when the time is 1:45 on the clock?
Right.
This is not asked in GMAT. This can be asked in MBA entrance in there. He may create this kind of a question. He can create a wonderful question out of this, but
Mm.
this is not representative. You're getting me, right? So this is
Yes.
the
Yes.
advantage.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the advantage with me, representative. It will be test representative. What kind of questions are really asked? You will find a similar thing in my question bank. So mm, once the ball is rolling and on email track change, I when I send, I keep it, I do my work on Word, MS Word,
Right.
and
Right.
I switch on the track change, and there is understanding until I say don't turn off track change. Even if you remove a comma or add something, it should be informed. I will accept. If I don't accept, I'll write a comment ki I don't accept. And if you accepted my insertion, don't inform me you accept. But if you are not accepting, don't reject. Write a comment why you're not accepting this. This is the way,
Right.
and we keep killing the comments. And once the document everything is sorted out, this is freezed. This is how the
Got it.
process I go. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So typically, how long does it take for you to create one question, Shalabh?
So yeah. So say if there is one easy level problem solving question. We can call it MCQ type question, easy level
Right.
question. Suppose I say the question is a lady is 28 years old, okay, and she was three times as old as her son 4 years back. What is the son's age after three? This is a easy level question.
Yes.
20
Hmm.
within 20 minutes I can crack it. Okay, within 20 minutes. This is easy level question. If I say MCQ type but hard level question and it needs a diagram, diagram takes time. Okay, because I have to
Right.
represent
Right.
something. Okay, say a Venn diagram is there or number line has to be
Right.
drawn. So it may take say any time like in a 35 to 40 minutes. The Longest time I take is the critical reasoning question.
Right.
Critical reasoning. Suppose critical reasoning question is there, then create an argument and discuss with uh, our fellow, my team member, whether this particular argument is written the way it should be. Is there kind of a ambiguities there? Are the options correct? Any kind of so what we will do if I really create a question, say 5 questions are created, I send it to my team member and tell them, can you tell me what are the correct answers
Right.
without the solution? If
Yeah.
my
Right.
team, yeah, and if suppose like I say, ki, oh, this is the option D and I'm thinking C, then we can discuss how to rectify this if there is no ambiguity or something. Then it's okay, but then we discuss, sort it out what is the issue. Then I write the solution. So critical reasoning, you can say it depends 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes.
Cool. Shalabh, now, your journey is very organic, right? Because you didn't set out to become a content creator in the test prep. It just happened because of your
Yeah,
experiences put
absolutely.
together.
Yes,
Probably
yes, yes.
people didn't even know that, there is a career like this or whatever it is. But today it's not like that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you started, it was 10 years before. Before I want to ask you the main question, I just want to ask a question. Today, how important, how critical is content creation for all the training companies in the space of test preps rather? Because this see, in the test prep domain, right, there are individuals who teach privately. Now when you're doing a one-on-one tutoring or coaching, you can do away with using content from here and there. It doesn't have to be original and stuff like that, right? It's one-on-one and stuff. But when it comes as a company, let's say a Kaplan or a TC group, you said, when you have a learning management system and when you have it all in public for whoever signs up, there are chances the competition can log in and see, a copyright infringement has happened. So could you talk a little bit about this whole thing? How are people navigating, right? And any experiences you've seen where these were a problem and after which it became very important for companies to have their original content.
As far as GMAT is concerned, one thing, the Bible is the official guide. That is the Bible. There is only one challenge with official guide is there. The number of questions are few, not sufficient enough. That is the reason like test prep companies think of why not have more number of questions. But having quality questions, what happens as far as the Indians are concerned, Indian test prep companies are concerned, if they really try to create certain questions, I've seen one of my strategies. I'm coming to strategies how to pitch for the client and earn a contract. If a test prep company or because not it is as far as small test prep companies are there, nobody can really afford this much because creation of
Correct.
a content really expensive. Okay, and one more logic is there. I can use the content of some other company or
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
content. Yeah. So what I really pitch is this: you give me, you have content. You give me your best work, 10 questions, best work. I will review, I will review, and free of cost and send it to you. If you find
Right.
that there is a value to it, I can review from multiple scope. Suppose one of the question I can recall is good question, mathematically, logically perfect. They are done. The example of the lady is 28 years of age. 4 years ago, she was 6 times as old as her son. 4 years from now, what will be son's age? Mathematics and everything was perfect. The answer was coming out to be the age is 12. Okay. And
Right.
after 4 years, her son will be 16 years. No
Okay.
problem. Everything is perfect. Now, there is
Hmm.
some ethical issue. The lady is 28 years of age and her son is 12. That means she gave birth at 16.
Right.
So, I mean, I mean, socially, like, doesn't really acceptable. So, these are things also in come under my review. If a truck speed is 200 miles per hour, this is the answer. Where do you find a truck? Even in Germany, you won't find like in a truck driving at an average speed of 200 miles per hour. So, at this
Right.
level, I can really review and I take care. So, uh, when it comes to like original content is there, of course, copyright issue or these things definitely arise. When I take the content from the company, so I say, if when I'm paid, I write NDA that copyright of every material, whatever I have written, it belongs to you. Copyright belongs to you. The moment get paid, I forfeit the right of that particular content. Now it is
Right.
up to the test plate company what it does. Multiple ways it publishes. Partly, it even if like if it wants to get it reviews from a third party, not from me, they are open to it. So, as far as security is concerned, that is their lookout.
Right.
I will ensure that from my side, that particular content will not be reused. It is your property, and I can guarantee.
Right.
Yeah,
Great. This is a very interesting topic to talk about. So, you spoke about one question now, right? There's a lady. Let's say, for example, I want to get into content creation, and I know that content plagiarism and all is a big thing, and you should have original question. Now, you said one question, right? There is a lady who's 28 years old. A few years before, she was 6 years before, she was four times whatever it is,
yeah,
the age.
yeah.
And now, can I simply change the name of the person and the numbers and then keep the same thing? And would that count as plagiarism, or would that be original? Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, correct. So this is a good question. I mean, this happens in general. The thumb rule is there. What I have really learned is consecutive 5 words should not be there.
Ah,
Okay,
right. Very
consecutive five
interesting.
words should not be there. And if I this is such a question. The question I really told you. This is such a question. Uh, Anybody can literally think of because in school level,
We grew up
4 years back,
solving problems like this.
everybody, I mean, has really there's nothing great in
R.D.
it.
Sharma books are filled with, yeah.
R.D.
Yeah.
Sharma books are really absolutely, in school also. The point I really want to say is, have you really put your brain, because this is the quantitative reasoning question. Have you really thought of in this respect also a 60, the age of the lady would be, because it is out of scope. The question is asking what is the age of the son, and you have got the correct answer. The answer is X is equals to 12. The age of son is 12 is correct. But I mean, it should look, if it is coming
Real
from a
also.
standardized test script company, real also. So
Correct.
these things like, yeah, I take care.
Great. Okay. Shut up. Now, I'll tell you what I actually wanted to ask, and then, I just asked you some other stuff. So, what I wanted to ask, Shalabh, as a content creator in this domain, are the opportunities only growing, or was the opportunity 10 years back bigger than what it is today?
I think opportunities are definitely growing. But at the same time, like competitors like us who are really migrating from, uh, I mean, if somebody is really thinking of making career in content creation, definitely he should move from teaching to content, because first of all you should be great at teaching, and then you should have a flair of writing. There are many trainers who are 770 or 780 760 scores in GMAT. They can be brilliant teachers. On YouTube you'll find a fantastic teacher, but if you ask them to create a content. Okay.
Right.
So it is not necessarily, I just come back to this particular example of because I had recently one article on this thing, how challenging it is to design, write simple sentences. This lady example, I'm just quoting. One of the version is, a lady has a son who is
Mm-hmm.
28 years old. 4 years
Okay.
ago, she was three times as old as her son. What will be her son's age 4 years from now? Okay.
Right.
Now, this question, there is a flaw. Who is 28 years old? The sentence is, a lady has a son who is 28 years of old, who is
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
who is
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
modifying the sun, who is modifying the sun himself is 28. So why this other information is given? 28 plus 4 32 is the answer. So this is not a math problem, this is a language problem. So
Language problem. Yeah.
even if you are a very good mathematician, you're a quant expert, you may commit this kind of a mistake by drafting a question. So opportunities definitely are growing. At the same time, like competition is definitely growing. But if somebody wishes to make career in this thing, I'll say no. You do teaching at the same time, do some bit of a content. Once you feel comfortable,
Mm.
then only move to that.
Got it, Shalabh. Shalabh, out of your clients, what is the percentage of clients that you have are companies, and what is the percentage uh, you have are individual trainers?
Individual trainers, none, zero.
None. Okay.
And I mean, yeah, rightly so. I mean, there's no point like enough for them to spend this much of money because it's expensive.
How
And
much do you charge per question typically? What is the
yeah,
market rate, Shalabh?
correct. So, I mean, as far as like now, my majorly clients are US test prep companies, because even
Mm-hmm.
Indian test prep companies, like there are few, and not every test prep company can really afford this much of it, because there are people who can create the kind of question I have just quoted in 200 rupees. Okay, whereas like I'll charge
Per
800
question.
rupees, yeah, per question. It depends, like ki what suppose like in a critical reasoning question is there, then definitely I'll charge 1500 rupees for this. So this is way too much. This is what they really think. But I asked them, okay, give me your question, because they counter me with this thing. Oh, I have got a content writer who's already created this one question at this particular level. Negotiation, bargaining techniques at them. Okay, fine, no problem at all. Can you send me best work 10? I'll review free of cost. If
So,
that work,
Shalabh, sorry to interrupt you. You've
yeah.
mentioned this twice now already, right? Because the reason I'm stopping you, this is a very important aspect for listeners who are watching this. They know by now that the first step to win a contract is, you've already said before, send your 10 questions, send your best 10 questions, you'll review. How would you define this reviewing? What all do you do in this so-called review?
Sure, sure. So as I told you, like in a review can really go to this extent also. Uh, the lady has given birth at the age of 16. This can really
Got it.
call. Average speed of the truck is 200 miles per hour. Is it a joke? How is it possible?
It's
This
not
can,
realistic. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not realistic. Huh? So this is also one. Just quoted the sentence. A lady has a son who is 28 years old. Who
Who
is
is
28
right,
years old?
right.
No, language issues there. Aside all this thing, uh, is there any discrepancy in the logic? Is the question really
Mm.
drafted very well? Okay. One very important aspect I really look is, has the test maker put his brain to design options? What happens like when a test maker makes a question, uh, suppose A, B, C, D, five options are there. At the max, he does one is the correct answer. One is the little like if you kind of commit some kind of a natural mistake, then that particular wrong answer will come. What I will really do is I will solve this question in such a way that those wrong answers will also lead to. So the five wrong answers are very thoughtful wrong answers. Four answers are very thoughtful. If you commit a particular mistake in this way, suppose like
You'll
now
get that
coming back
also
to
as an answer.
exactly.
Yeah,
This is quite
yeah, yeah,
natural,
yeah.
right? So while equation setup
Yes,
and everything, 4 years back, to 4 years back, both son as well as the lady will be 4 years less. So usually, a average student है will forget 4 years back
right,
he may really miss ki, okay, sun will also be 4 years less. So let's solve
right,
this way.
right, right,
What is the answer is coming? That should be the option. So this will enrich in the question. This will enrich in the question. And one more thing, like uh, is is there any kind of assumption? Suppose like now the question is x is the number, and blah 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 is there. While solving, the test maker has considered that x is an integer while
right,
solving,
right,
right? So you should keep it in mind that oh, x is an integer, so it can be a decimal, it can be 2.5, it can be 2.3, it can be any number, it can be a fraction also.
right,
So did you really think so? On the on the test maker's mind, some kind of assumption was playing. Oh, number means integer. No, number and integers are different, right? The
right,
same
right,
goes with
right,
the verbal reasoning also, like suppose sentence correction question is there, preposition errors are not asked in GMAT, and that fellow has created a question which is testing preposition, and no, it is out of scope. It can be a good testing question. It is out of scope. GMAT does not ask this.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Suppose a little heavy word is introduced in sentence correction in GMAT. No, it is out of scope. It won't ask.
mm,
In GRE, it is within scope. In GMAT, it is not within the scope. In reading
right,
comprehension, a business technical term, suppose business technical term is being used. In that case, the GMAT will introduce that term, define that term, what this term is all about. So have you
right,
taken care of
right.
this thing? Yeah. So I mean, these point of view I review, and then I send it back to them.
Brilliant, great. So what I've understood from you is, first of all, one needs to have a deep understanding of each of the tests, what they expect, what is in scope, what is out of scope. You need to have a very deep understanding of how GMAT works, GRE works, so on and so forth. And then you also need to be in touch with the reality. The question can be a question, but how real or imaginary it is also matters so much. So, Shalabh, when you said reviewing, right, is that your first pitch at all? Is that how you get a foot in the door with the companies?
Uh,
Do you straight away
no,
start writing the first email as, I can review?
no. That is not at all my first. This thing is there. Suppose my generic email is there, and which is the who am I, what I have done, my credentials are there, and more importantly, my link Dropbox link is there, in which my sample questions GMAT, GRE, SAT, LSAT, and some other creative stuff. Also, have done a lot of creative side. Like if I talk about, I've created lots of memes, GMAT and test specific theme memes.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
so that collection is also there. Some reels were there. Micro concepts are taught through reels. Okay, a little
Right.
fun is there. I've got one entertainment channel also in which all our family members are little kind of naughty people. Okay, in COVID times we did a lot of drama and all these things. So I send a few articles, my LinkedIn profile. Okay, but more important thing, this is my work. This is my work. You see my work. If you find a value, and I can create questions. Okay. So if say the client responds to me on this thing, and can you send me the quotation? And also, this is a very generic. Can you
What is
send
the
me the
call to
quotation?
action in the first email?
Yeah. So suppose the client really says, ki, okay, we are interested in GMAT questions. What are your rates? So I don't really entertain, because it is the just like casually somebody is asking, can I have a meeting with you? Can I have a call with you? What is their specific requirement? Then only I'll be able to send you the quotation, because sending quotation makes no sense at all. Maybe you are having a particular specific requirement, and which can be created at a much lower rate, and you may have a certain requirement in which I cannot really fulfill, or it will be charged or a particular rate. So I just like and I try to have a conversation on this start. Then
Right.
if I have a conversation with the client, then if he say, "Oh, your rates are too high," or this and that, I have already like one particular contractors there. This and then I really pitch the second line of action is, "Can you send me those questions, 10 questions? I would like to review, of course,
Right.
free of cost." So this is my second line of action.
Got it. The first email ends like, saying if you're interested in in this kind of content, I can create for you. That's about it. And then they
That's
get back to you. Okay, Shalabh. Shalabh, how much of your time goes in your core function, that is creating content, and how much of your time goes in acquiring clients?
so there is a particular phase there in my time. Say on one particular month, I have got no work. Project is over.
Right.
Project is over. That time, like I can really go into the creation mode. I can create questions on my own as a reservoir. Okay.
Got it.
Simultaneously, like I am really approaching different clients and through LinkedIn or through different mediums. And very recently, like I have opened myself for creating pre-employment assessment questions. So I am
Yeah.
approaching those test prep companies also. If
Right.
they want assessment tests, of course, the same page is there. This is my work, and if you can send me 10 questions, and the same thing is there. So I also earned one of the very reputed companies in a contract for creating some 670 questions. So I really did it. So that gave me some kind of a confidence. Ki, okay, I can really do this because understanding the scope of suppose reading comprehension is such a topic. It can be asked a CBSE 10th grade kid. It can be asked to GMAT level. It can be asked in certain other exam. Junior level employee assessment test. This can be asked. What exactly is the scope of the question?
Right.
So this is very important to understand from the client. So I mean, on phases I do certain activities. If I'm really creating some I'm busy with content creation. Although today I'll really create some 10 question and then review 5 6 questions. So I'm not at all bothering about anything what is really going on. I'm solely into content creation. When the project is really over, I've changed my mode to marketing, memes, fun, some video recording, this, that. So, but yeah, memes I like, na, ki, yeah, I wish like, somebody has me to create memes. That's specific. That's, I mean, if I show you
No,
this
I'm sure.
particular,
I'm sure just the way you're reaching out to companies for question creating. See, one of
yeah,
the difficult things today for any company, for any business, right, is bringing in sales. And
yeah,
sales happens primarily through how much you put yourself out there on social media, and
mm,
how you put yourself out there on social media. Probably
yeah,
there are companies, the similar companies, especially the consulting companies, are looking out for meme creators like you. Trust me. So you should probably also start a thread where you reach out and say, "I can do this also." So yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I mean,
have you
yeah,
started doing that already?
yes. I've started like if I really tell about my this COVID stories, COVID was a worst time. 2 years was worst time because
Right.
content is luxury. One thing is content is luxury. Not everybody's cup of tea. You already asked like in how many individual test prep makers have you approached or earned any kind of a contract. Wisely so. Uh, it's none, and there is a rationale behind this because they can also have a
Correct.
good content. Why have a copyright content? So in COVID times, like I did, as I said, a lot of creative stuff and everything. So I sent the link which has got everything of mine. So
Right.
I created. I mean, the T-shirt I am really putting. This is designed by me. This is designed
Wow.
by me.
Okay.
Okay, Vista Print. Huh? So
Help me
I had
design
really thought,
means
yeah, I designed myself.
what is
If
written there? I couldn't. I only read.
yeah, yeah. So
Help me.
help me decide which
Help
slide
me
should I
decide
take.
which slice should I take. Ah, right.
Yeah,
It's a pizza.
yeah.
Got it. Pepperoni
It's a
pizza.
pizza,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, some angles are less, but its arc is
Very nice.
smaller. Yeah. So, so my aim was this test themed, not generic subject matter themed T-shirts or the concept micro concepts to be taught in this way. So my objective was to reach out to top test prep companies and say, I'll design
Right.
the T-shirt graphics, okay, and this will be owned by you, and you can send it free of cost to your students, or if you really want to save merchandise through merchandise, whatever, a cup,
Right.
whether it is a cup, I also now designed one cup, I think. Yeah, so many designs. This is done by me. This is a seesaw technique of like
Yeah.
yeah. If petrol prices goes by 10% of how much by how many percent should I reduce my consumption? How to quickly find out the answer. So
Right.
yeah. So I mean I approached so many test prep companies. Okay, hire me for this thing, but nothing materialized. Then I changed my strategy to t-shirt maker companies, which
Uh-huh.
sell graphic t-shirts. Okay, so but
Hmm.
so far nothing really materialized. So let's see. I have a dream of like selling t-shirts.
Great. Shalab, one of the things in this is getting contracts, right? And then another important side to this is collecting your payments, because I think we all know as a rule how difficult it is for freelancers to get paid on time and commanding that respect and that weightage. How do you deal with that? What's your story? How did you start off? I'm sure you would have had your problems, you would have corrected it. How are you now?
So say like of course the client really wants, okay, get your work done, then we'll pay, blah blah. But I'll try to really pitch
Right.
in this way. Okay, I want the payment on certain milestones. Suppose 500 question project is there, right?
Right.
So say there are 12 mock tests are there. So there is a logical conclusion of termination of one particular module is there. So I will put forth this condition that I should be paid after each module or the milestone. So usually, like I try to find out ki some 25,000 something or 30,000 should be the milestone which I should really pay. After negotiation, it can really reach to any number. It should not really be more than some 50,000 something. So
Right.
that is what my strategy is. And yeah, there were a couple of hiccups were there previously also, but this is what like as a freelancer I have to really deal with. And fortunately, like I'm experienced enough to handle this thing. I can sense where this client is really going and whether I should pursue this particular client or whether that client is competent enough to handle this much of content, whether it is will be valuable to the client. Then I say, okay, I'm not interested in this particular contract. So then I said, okay, bye bye, see you next time.
You're saying the client sometimes says that they don't like your content and it ends there.
No,
Is that
no,
what you said?
no. Suppose no. Suppose like in a payment term conditions are there. So I just said like in a okay, once like one of the milestone is when it reaches about my content valuing maybe 25,000 something, I should be paid. If the contract is
Right.
for say in a 2 lakhs, right? And I divided into 8 milestones of 25,000 each.
Right.
They're not agreeing to this. There's no, not possible. We'll pay you lump sum once it is over. They have got their own reasoning or this thing. Nothing is coming in between. Then at this particular moment, and I have to say,
You
I
have to
think
let
no,
it go.
don't let it go. Let it go.
Got it, Shalabh. Shalabh, creating content for companies like this and then, foregoing your you know, ownership to that is one thing. Have you toyed with the idea of creating books, practice question books? Because that's also a big market, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can do that also, right? It's right up your alley. So have you thought about it? Have you done anything about it? What is that like?
Yeah, I can definitely do it because this is what my forte is all about. But yeah, selling that particular, what happens like when the test prep companies, create content for test prep companies. So it is their property. My name is not there. My name is not
Correct.
there, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. No issues with this thing. When once I create my own book, then brand
Right.
there is no Shalabh Jain as a brand because my target segment is not students. My
Hmm.
clients are the test prep companies. So students don't know who Shalabh Jain is.
Okay.
They know who XYZ test prep company is. If that XYZ company is coming with a particular book, then definitely they're going to buy it. Maybe on the back end, Shalabh Jain has created those questions. That is immaterial.
Right. Okay. But you've never thought of foraying into this side, your target audience, you've never
Yeah,
wanted to go to the student route and stuff like that.
yeah. No, nothing. Never.
Okay. Got it. Got it, Shalabh. Um, Shalabh, I think all of the questions that I wanted to ask from the content development perspective, I think I've covered. And yeah, I think you've pretty much laid out a path. Now, only thing what I would like to cover is from a listener's point of view. Is somebody, let me just summarize whatever you said. If there are any gaps or something, you can probably help me fill it. Now, you said very clearly, if you're starting out to become a content creator in this domain, do not first start off with teaching. Gain some experience, develop an idea or a feel for what it is and stuff like that, and then parallelly start content and then probably go full time. Otherwise, this is not the way. And if the let's say if there are trainers who are listening in, and if they think that, oh, content creation can be a great career opportunity for them, and let's say they have 5 years of experience with them, then the best way for them to start would be uh, write to companies saying that this is my experience, I've been teaching. Now, Shalab, okay, here's a question, right? You had something to show. This is what I've done. You've done. But let's say if somebody has only been teaching for 5 years, they don't have any credible work to show. This is the questions I created. Where do they start off from? What would be a good pitch? Can you help them out here?
Sure. Yes, yes, sure. So I mean, somebody is a very nice teacher. He teaches students like teaching concepts are really clear. First of all, test yourself whether you know the subject very well or not. If a person thinks, yeah, I'm good at this particular subject, start writing something.
Okay.
See, teaching and content writing are not necessarily, there is an overlap. There is an
Hmm.
overlap of certain skills are there, concepts, but that overlap, maybe somebody can, a good teacher exaggerate that, and oh, I am a good teacher, I can write. It is not necessarily. Maybe you are good at your English, but a written communication may be different than having a very good English skills, right?
Right.
Like I want to add certain tools I use. Grammar editing tool. One is Quillbot.
Quillbot. Right.
I
The
have got its
paraphrasing tool.
premium Quillbot. Yeah, absolutely. Paraphrasing. So multiple functions can does like it can check your language, the grammar is there. Then it can suggest alternative to this particular sentence. Okay. So these tools, if you put your work on Quillbot or Grammarly, language editing tools are there. So this will be really helpful to understand where I am really lacking. There are many people like those who are well versed. They are peak of their career. Their language is very good. But I suggested them, why don't you check your work on Quillbot or Grammarly? They were really surprised to see, yeah, that these kind of mistakes are being committed. So, better write something, write certain question, and get yourself checked with somebody whether you can really write. See, Standing in a class and explaining a particular question is totally different than typing and writing in
Right, right.
concise manner is totally. So test yourself, do certain work, and uh, get this checked, reviewed with somebody. And if somebody really likes it, yeah, you can write very well. Then only you can think of, okay, I will write some content.
Got it. You said for people who've been teaching, if they consider themselves nice teacher, if they want, you said start writing, right? You meant like a blog or something to showcase when you send it to your client
Yeah,
also?
so yeah. So what one thing like I would recommend is not necessarily blog. Suppose like you are interested in writing question, go to GMAT Club or beat the GMAT and try to answer students' question because students ask certain questions. Particular multiple choice question is there or critical reasoning this question is there, you answer those questions or particular query it is being sir, suppose somebody has already answered this and this thread is long, okay, and a student from Philippines is asking, I could not understand the difference between option B and you pitch in and try to explain what is the difference between option B and D. And if you could earn kudos or the student really complimented for this,
Right.
oh, now I got it. You will gain confidence that, yeah, I can write something, I can explain something. So this is the best approach. Go to Beat the GMAT or GMAT Club.
And these things can also be used as credibility when you're pitching to a new client or something
Absolutely.
like that.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for this, Shalabh. So you're saying that if somebody has been teaching and they want to get into the content writing, go to social platforms like what was it? Beat the GMAT Club, is it?
Beat the GMAT, yeah. Beat the GMAT, BTG and GC, GMAT Club.
GMAT Club and Beat the GMAT. Okay, go here,
Yeah.
answer questions. You can also contribute questions here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Great. So
Yeah.
this can be you saying that, okay,
Even
you know what, I've
I mean,
contributed so many questions here.
yeah, you can create your own question and put across and invite answers to those questions. So students can answer those questions. So you can check yourself whether there is some kind of ambiguity in this particular question or this question is going very well or this is a quality question. So you can test yourself.
Got it, Shalabh. And what would you like to say if listeners are thinking, is there any way that I can work with Shalabh to gain some
Oh, most welcome.
experience?
You
Do
show
you?
me. So how I like recruit people. There are I mean I also approach sometimes. They also approach me for this thing. So I just ask them, ki, okay, show me your work. So no sir, I'm experienced on this and that, but yeah, I haven't really done it. Okay, but I don't say, ki, okay, you're not qualified or something like this. I say, ki, okay, please write this. Can you please explain this particular question, existing question, in your own style? Okay, I
Right.
give it to them. And if I'm impressed, okay, some grammatical errors are there, this I ignore, okay, this can be really taken care of. Whereas if there is a logic flaw is there, then I'll say, okay, I think like now you need to improve on this aspect.
Improve.
So I won't
Right.
entertain, yeah. But there are certain aspects are there where I find, yeah, logic is perfect. This man really knows the subject quite well. Other aspects I'll
Right.
take care. So I'll ask you, okay, let's start taking with 5 questions. Let's do together.
Got it, Shalabh. So you're saying there are opportunities you're getting which you would definitely would love to pass it on to others or
Yeah,
work as a team and collaborate. So you
team.
encourage
Yes,
people to reach out to you.
yes,
Great.
yeah.
Um, Shalabh, you brought in the tools aspect. You said Quillbot and all, which reminded me of ChatGPT, right? So, how has the introduction of ChatGPT, has life become a little easier with ChatGPT for content creators?
So I tested, yes. So I tested Chat GPT. So fortunately, uh, suppose I pasted one of the existing reading comprehension passage and asked make 10 questions, inference question with 5 options.
Right.
It did return the question with 5 options, but the quality of questions were pretty basic, pretty easy kind of a questions were there. Maybe like in
Right.
a 10th
Right.
standard, the boy can really solve. So this is a good news for me that still humans, there is a chance of survival of humans. Okay, so quality of questions were not really there. Okay, but it could really, but yeah, one thing is that. I just read those options. That gave me a hint. Oh, I can make option because then it gives a hint. That way, it can really help me. I can make one of the option, and because the kind of language GMAT and GRE writes, it can be little convoluted, kind of a compound
Right.
sentences are
Right.
there. Okay, not very easy to decipherable. So these things were not in those options. But yes, sentence correction. I asked to create sentence correction, but it did good job. It did good job. But again, you have to apply brain like it is asking for, it is testing articles or determinants A and D or preposition, conjunction. This is out of scope. So you have to really apply your brain. But I'll say it did pretty good job with sentence correction.
Nice. Nice. So apart from Quillbot and ChatGPT, typically what are the set of the tools that you use,
Yeah,
Shalabh,
so
as a
one is
content creator?
the, yes, so of course MS Office is there. I work on Word, and this is I asked the client that I'll work on MS Office, and further you have to take care. But I'm good hand with the LaTeX also, a typesetting tool.
Shalabh, anyway, I think I just have one more question for you. Um, you said most of your clients are companies that are into test prep and all those things, right? Oh, sorry. You just went off for a little bit. You said most of your clients are the test prep companies. Have you seen the rise of companies who are only into, who have a platform, who are only into mock tests or practice test sort of companies? Are they your clients yet?
No, as of now, no.
Got it. But I think those companies could very well be your clients. The reason I asked is I had a
Absolutely.
discussion with one of the SAT trainers recently, and his name is Mandeep Singh, in fact. Uh, Mandeep Singh trains people on GMAT and
Yeah, yeah, I
other,
know Mandeep Singh. Like he's in LinkedIn also. Yes, Mandeep Singh. Yeah, he's very active in
yeah,
LinkedIn. Yeah.
yeah. So, one of the important things for individual trainers is offering the mock test to their students, right? And he said he's using a platform. He's working with a vendor who are offering platforms just for mock tests. So the
Okay.
reason I brought this topic up was obviously those platforms need content creators, right? So
Yeah.
maybe that could be a new channel for you to find new
Absolutely.
clients.
Yeah.
That's the reason I
Thank you
brought in
for.
that
Yeah,
topic.
I would definitely love to work with them. Yeah.
Got it, Shalabh. Shalabh, thank you so much. It was great
My
interacting with
pleasure.
you and picking your brain on how this whole content creation thing works, especially in this domain. To be very honest, you're the first person that I'm talking to who's dedicatedly creating content for test prep companies, and it
Right.
was it was very enlightening to understand how this entire thing works and how you approach people, how you get contracts. I'm sure this is going to be invaluable to our listeners, who are always looking at content creation as a career path. And not only that, you know, I'm sure people would love to reach out to you and see if there are any way that they can get experience or, work with you. So, on the whole, thank you so much for your time and for all the value that
Thank
you
you very much.
provided, Yashala. And
Thank you very much. That much.
our pleasure. Do you have any feedback about the podcast, how we can improve this? What was your experience in general like?
No, I mean, very happy with the podcast. Like, this is a great initiative. Sometimes, like, we also uh, seek some kind of a platform where we can voice our opinion. We can really market ourselves or tell the world that who we are.
Although there are
Right.
certain social media are there, but mostly it is into writing. Okay, so LinkedIn's there or in textual form. But podcast, like we can put some emotions also, and
Right. Right.
yeah. So any kind of a question, like if I want to tell my story of school days or something, where will I really get those opportunity? What kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
challenges I really face? So this is a fantastic platform where any kind of a test maker or any kind of a educationist put forth his or her story, which really inspires people or reach it out to more people. So it is a great work, Edison.
Thank you so much for your positive feedback. We will definitely uh, try and make it even better, and see if this can contribute positively to all the people, all the stakeholders involved in this. Thank you, Shalab.